Are you ready for the best damn sports talk show on the planet? Man, our nation, rise up.
I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that thing. I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who's coming to the stage. Sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, then listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Starts like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're After Dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live all through your speakers, go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckasha here with the Man Hour. What is up? What is up? What is up? Head over to manhourradio.com. Pick yourself up some merchandise. Of course, you got the blog section going over there as well. Tonight, we're going to break down the AFC North game picks. That's the Bengals, Ravens, Pittsburgh Steelers, and of course, the Cleveland Browns. We are going to break each one of those games down, let you guys know who is going to win, lose each one of those games. Of course, we got the membership happening over at youtube.com/Man Hour. As little as 99 cents a month, you become an active member, be a part of the Man Hour Nation. You get access to the after show footage. You get access to merchandise discounts as well. And then, of course, we had the $2.99 deal that gets you access to all the after hours. $5.99 gets you a t-shirt, and then the $9.99 deal gets you a hoodie. Every year you are part of the Man Hour Nation. So, of course, we have to welcome the man, the myth, the volleyball dad himself, Brandon B.C. Combs. What's going on, Combsy?
What is going on? What's going on, Buck? Man, our nation, man. It's good to be back.
Man, every time you are on, Combs, so fun fact here. Like, I always prep for show, like, so when we go on vacation here in like a month or two, like I have shows already planned up. So like I have shows from way back when the Man Hour started are all already queued up, ready to be played. Do you realize, Combs, that we have grown so much over the last 5 months that it is unreal? Wyatt didn't have a microphone. You were sounding like you were in a toilet, and it was just, and like me, I was so like far away from my mic, you could already hear, like, so we have grown so much, man, and are it is great to see your face, man.
Always growing, man, and I just gotta tell you, Wyatt always sounds best when he doesn't have a mic. So when he has a mic, all we hear about is the Packers.
Yeah, so we did break down the Green Bay Packers last week with myself and Tori, and that was about a 40-minute conversation. So I couldn't imagine what it would have been with Wyatt and Tori both on the air at the same time.
We would have had to do a 4-hour special.
Yeah, it's you guys.
It would have lasted longer than the draft night special.
Oh yeah, easily 5 hours, hands down. Speaking of 5 hours, hands down, you were at a volleyball tournament here in Indiana from Thursday until Sunday. Almost 5 days, man. But how do you feel being a volleyball dad, Combs?
Man, I gotta tell you, first off, I want to say I got to meet Buck in person. Got to meet his 2 beautiful sons. Man, dude, they were the cutest. You had Trip running all over the room, and we had River over there blowing us kisses as he was leaving. That was awesome.
Yeah.
But no, it was a lot of fun, man. So I appreciate you coming down and hanging out for a little bit as well. But being a volleyball dad, I got to tell you, at first I was like, man, I don't know what this volleyball stuff is. I don't know anything about volleyball.
Right.
But watching the player that Aubrey has grown into in the last 2 years is phenomenal. Like, she went from a girl who I was watching her play and she could hit the ball and she was starting to get it, but she wasn't the best player on the court. And now I look at her and she's the best player on the damn court. Like, this kid is phenomenal. And she had a play on Friday night that I'm telling you right now was the absolute play of the weekend. She was on the left side of the court. The right side was open. The ball was easily less than 6 inches from hitting the ground. Out of nowhere, she comes diving across the court to save the ball and gets the point, hitting it over to the other side of the net, and it just everybody was talking about the play. This kid has grown into something that I love watching her play. I love going to her games. It's so much fun. I get excited with it. Now I'm always yelling. Now I'm at the volleyball courts, right? And I'm that dad that's jumping out of his seat and clapping. And I'm like, all the other volleyball parents are like, we don't do that here.
Really?
I mean, they clap and
right?
stuff, but yeah, like I'm loud and obnoxious, and I cheer, and I get excited. And you know what? Aubrey she's 13, so she's in 7th grade, and she's just, by the time she gets to high school, I'm telling you, she is going to be like, it's going to be fun watching her play high school volleyball for sure.
Yeah, just so I got to meet her in person as well, and I did not realize like how tall she
Dude, she's
she
ridiculously
was.
tall. Yeah, she's
so-
about the same height as I am, which isn't very tall, but for a 13-year-old girl, that's pretty damn tall. Like,
for a girl that is definitely very, very tall. But before we welcome Wyatt and into the show here, let's go ahead and welcome up some of our members here. Drew, what's going on? How are you doing tonight?
What's up, Drew?
Michelle drops down the Man Hour Nation. Tori
going on,
says,
babe?
"Good evening, Drew." We definitely have a family.
I saw
growing
one
here
from
on the-
Tori earlier. Tori, are you already drunk?
Yeah,
You
he
have
said
one.
that-
Where is it? Here it is, right here. Auret bin Rosen. What the hell are you trying to say?
Yeah,
I thought you
don't know
said.
what
I
she
thought
said.
you said you finished the bottle yesterday.
Yeah, let's go ahead and lay off that bottle tonight here, Tori. But let's welcome the man, the prom king himself, Mr. Wyatt Williams at manhour_TWW. What's up, Wyatt?
What's up, man? Combs, 2 questions for you.
Yeah.
Well, not first one's not a question; it's a statement. I don't know why those volleyball parents told you to be quiet, because every volleyball game I've ever called, they are hyped. Volleyball is the most hyped sport on planet Earth. I love calling volleyball.
They didn't tell me to
'cause
be
the
quiet.
players-
Yeah, they didn't tell me to be quiet. They were just like they were like looking at me funny because I'm loud. And
Yeah, well,
especially
give
when I
them
get
a look
excited.
back, because volleyball is the most hyped sport ever. You should be loud, all that stuff. So
Yeah.
keep doing that. That's not a crime whatsoever. And then the second thing, the play where did she get her hand under it like flat like that and tip it up?
Yes.
Okay, volleyball terminology for you here, okay? That way you can be a smart volleyball dad. You ready?
Yeah.
So if you dive for a ball and save it, that's called a dig. But if you do that, where you slip your hand under it, tip it up, that's called a pancake dig.
Okay. All
So I
right.
see
So
the pancake
all
flat,
right. So
hit it.
she had an amazing pancake dig then.
There
and
you go.
You know how much I dig pancakes, Mr. Waffle.
Hey, pancake digs. That's what I just wanted to tell you. That way, the next time you go to the volleyball game, you can look at Michelle and be like, "That was an awesome pancake dig," and she'll be like,
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm gonna get
"And
it.
a point is called a kill." So there you go.
All
She
right.
scores a point. It's called a kill. So there you go.
And
So she killed him.
Combs
Awesome.
Combs
Exactly.
will be wearing his waffle merch. So maybe we can have like a waffle figurine doing like the pancake dig.
Yes.
Like, that wouldn't that be a perfect Man Hour shirt?
That would be
People like-
awesome. No, but
like-
I just
like, what are you guys
wanted to
talking
tell you that, Combs. That way, the next time you go there and you go to a tournament, you can be like, "Oh, that was an awesome pancake dig and a kill." And Michelle will look at you like you've got 3 heads. Like, where did you learn that from?
Yeah, I'm gonna be coaching volleyball next year.
Exactly.
I know all about
Learned
it.
Learned it from D. Wyatt Williams. But
I'm telling you, man, I
Wyatt,
love volleyball, man. I eat it up. It's my favorite
Dude,
sport to call.
I didn't know how I was gonna feel about it because look, I'm used to coaching baseball. I'm used to coaching hockey, reffing hockey. Like I'm used to the loud, crazy atmosphere. I wasn't sure I was gonna like volleyball at first, but man, I gotta tell you, it's probably one of the best sports that I've been a part of with all of my kids' youth sports, and it just makes it even better that Aubrey, her team went out there and they didn't play so well in the first, couple of days when they were doing the seeding, but once they got to their bracket, man, they ended up finishing second in their bracket and just went on this incredible run, and it was just so impressive to watch the girls play their butts off and play as hard as they did, and when your daughter is one of the the best on the court, it makes it even that much more fun to watch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Here,
so-
bring that comment back up.
volleyball's supposed to be loud.
Oh yeah. That's what I said. Don't let them look at you funny, Combs. Be as loud as you want. You're supposed to be. They're the ones that's wrong. You
I'm gonna
be
start
louder.
jumping up and flexing on them like
Exactly.
I was Randy Moss or
if
something.
anything, you weren't being loud enough. Yeah,
So
exactly. You're pulling on your pants.
So, fun fact here, guys. Me and Cindy play co-rec sand volleyball during the summertime. And Cindy went to college to play volleyball, so she's really, 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 really good, right? I'm just a natural born athlete, and I've never played volleyball. But like, I'm in there talking shit. I'm like, you like that? And then Cindy just comes up and is like, Michael, shut up. Just you suck. I'm like, yeah, but you got my back, baby. So I just
she's like Michael, this is the parents versus kids game. Calm down.
Michael, she's like, Mike, you just spiked the ball in a 4-year-old's face. Stop flexing.
Man, you gotta do what you gotta do.
He's as old as your son. That was your son, actually.
Trip is bleeding, Michael. Stop.
Speaking of which, River fell out of the stroller at the hotel and like did like some head first somersault thing. Combs, he has like a scrape from his armpit down to his waist, and then Sandy's like, well, how did he get that? Like, oh, Combs like body slammed him on the bed. So
You should look. He was so hyped up, and all we kept doing. So me and Michelle Wyatt. So they come into the thing. I'm like, oh, guess what? I went to Toll House earlier. You want some chocolate chip cookies? And they were like, oh, we got some candy and some. We were just sugaring them up.
Oh yeah.
I was like, yeah, we're gonna get you all nice and sugared up before we
where
leave here.
Where at in Indy was it? And I'm sorry I couldn't make it. I had prom that day, but where at in Indy was it?
Oh no, you're good. We were in downtown Indianapolis. And it
2
was
blocks away
like,
from the Lucas Oil Stadium, maybe.
Nice.
Yeah, we were right outside of Lucas Oil, and it was just it is a nice area. I was just really shocked at like food. Like nobody in Indianapolis eats after 5 o'clock. I'm convinced because we go to the eatery on Friday after the game. We go to the mall that's across the street from the hotel. It's like 6 o'clock.
Yeah, downtown mall, yeah.
And they're like. We go to get some food, and all of the eatery is closed. They closed at 4 o'clock.
Why?
What kind of mall eatery closes at 4 o'clock? And then, so the next night, we're like, all right, we're playing late, so we're just going to order some pizza from Giordano's. So we get out of the game. It's 9 o'clock. We go to order from Giordano's. They're no longer taking orders for the night. At 9 o'clock on a Saturday, a pizza place is not taking order. Are you out of your dang mind?
Weird. The next time you go to Indy, I'll text you a couple places you should go by. But the best one is right on the edge of you know how like there's a kind of a trainway, a railroad track between you and Lucas Oil Stadium, and you got to kind of go under it and all that stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Right whenever you get to the edge of that, there's a place there called Brothers Bar and Grill, and that place is amazing.
I've heard of that.
It's so
we
good.
ended up going to Dick's Last Resort. We took the girls there, didn't tell them what it was.
Dick's Last Resort is such a great place.
Oh my god. Dude, they had no holds barred on them girls, man. They're like Aubrey's little hat said something like you're the reason boys like boys. They put on another girl on her team, and it said what was it? It was I gave the whole football team mono. Like and then my hat said even the dog closes its eyes when it humps me. Like
I went there in like 7th grade. Facts. And I went with my parents, and this chick that was like writing on the hats and stuff looks at me and goes, well, you go to public school, don't you? And I'm like, yeah. She goes, okay, you'll know what this means. And she writes it down. She starts writing and then puts it on my head, and my parents start dying laughing. And I'm like, what? So I take it off and look at it, and it says, I'm the reason why we don't have any lotion in the house.
Yeah. So
it was awesome.
Combs, I totally forgot I told you I was going to wear this shirt today on the show, but I'll wear it tomorrow for.
Oh yeah, we got Buck a nice shirt from Dick's Last Resort to wear on the show.
Absolutely.
Yes. I love.
All right, guys. So we are going to take our first little break of the night here. On the other side of the break, guys, we're going to do some liar here. So speaking of merchandise, we got some new merchandise, guys. Go to manhourradio.com. We got the alternate Man Hour logo. We got the American T as like as well. All that and much more, guys, over there on the Man Hour. We'll be right back right after this. Coming up on the Man Hour, guys, we're going to talk about how bad the Cincinnati Bengals are going to lose this year.
You can't say that.
What's that? I can't say that? Oh. Coming up next on the Man Hour, we're going to talk about how overrated the Cleveland Browns are.
Fuck! You can't say that.
I can't say that either. Coming up on the Man Hour, we are going to talk about how Ben Roethlisberger should have retired 2 years ago.
Buck, no!
Oh, I can't say that either. What can I say?
You can say what's coming up, Buck.
Okay. Coming up on the Man Hour, guys, we got some more football talk. That's all I can say. HR says I can't say anything else.
No!
What's that? Oh, I can't say, HR can't say, I can't.
Buck.
Oh. What?
You can't talk about how HR is trying to censor you,
I don't
Buck.
know what I can or cannot say anymore.
Merch. Just talk about the merch.
Get the merch? Man Hour merch. Get it. manhourradio.com. And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buck Heisel with Brandon Combs and the Wyatt Williams. And if you missed any part of the show whatsoever, you can find us on iTunes, iHeartRadio, and of course Spotify. And if you just want to watch a little bit of clip there, go to youtube.com/Man Hour. Upload the clips each and every day. So welcome back, guys. Man Hour _Combs, Man Hour _TWW, guys. What's going on?
Did you have a meeting with the federal government while you were doing that commercial?
No, I did not. Why?
Because it sounded like that's who you were talking to in that commercial. I don't know.
Oh no, that was 100% me. That was all. That was all Buck Nasty.
It just sounded like somebody from the government was telling you couldn't do anything, or maybe it was like a Facebook bigwig, censoring.
It was actually HR. They've been trying to censor me and say I can't say Lamar Jackson sucks anymore and stuff like that. But
yeah,
it's crazy. So we do got Liar coming up here, guys, real quick. So Wyatt, tell people what Liar is all about.
Yeah, Liar is basically just a game that we play where I host it and ask Buck and Combs. I give them 3 facts. 2, of course, hence the name Liar. 2 are lies. 1 is the truth. They've got to guess which is the truth. We go alternating back and forth until someone gets 3 points to win it. And
he means till
if nobody
Combs beats
wins,
Buck.
if nobody wins, then Trevor Bauer, the greatest pitcher of all time that has ever entered into the league of baseball, will go on.
I said we keep going until Combs beats Buck, because that's what happens in Liar when I'm on the show.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, Trevor's won a couple of times.
No, he has never won. Get out of here with that crap.
I will give Trevor that. I mean, he's come away with a couple of wins, guys.
No, he hasn't. I promise you.
I've never rooted. I'll tell you this right now. I've never rooted harder for a John Lester home run in my life than I am right now. Even though he's not even playing for the Cubs, I'm hoping that he will just find a way and just poke one out of Wrigley right now.
Just give it a nice little tappy.
Taparoo.
Well, he gave it a tap and it went right to Rizzo. So, but he's gotten a standing ovation, and the Cubs are up 3-0. So.
And they lose 6-3 tonight.
We're getting Liar started now. And
all right, let's do it.
Who's our most recent winner?
That would be me.
Yeah.
All right. So with that being said, Combs, you will start off first. So our first one here is over 250 million people have a hunting license in some states. Or excuse me, sorry. No.
Wait, what?
No.
United States?
I started reading the next clue. Sorry.
Oh.
Over 250 million people have hunting license. Sorry. Okay. My bad. I didn't put a space between the two. I don't know how. I guess I put them right next to each other. In some states, parachuting is considered a competitive sport. Okay. Then third and last but not least, boxing wasn't a legal sport until 1901. So we've got over 250 million people have a hunting license in the U.S. In some states, parachuting is considered a competitive sport, and boxing wasn't legal until 1901. Combs, you are first, sir. Take it away.
Well, my favorite subject in school was always math. And there's only like 300 million people in the United States, so I'm pretty sure 250 million of them don't have hunting licenses. And then parachuting being a sport is an interesting one, but I do know that boxing was illegal for a long time. So I'm going to go with the boxing was not a legal sport until 1901.
Yeah, Combs, wide is starting to get a little tricky on these. So it's probably 2.5 million people have a hunting license. You just took out the decimal point or added a zero because 25 million sounds a little bit more reasonable. Parachuting as a sport, I remember playing a game on Super Nintendo where you jumped out of an airplane and you had to like paraglide through these rings and stuff.
That was
like
Sonic,
that.
wasn't it?
No, it was
Sonic.
It was some parachuter game but
Okay.
But I feel like the boxing one is correct, but just for validity of the game, I got to go with the parachute one just because that sounds the most reasonable.
Okay.
All right. So with that being said, starting off the night, 1-0 is BC. Boxing wasn't a legal sport until 1901. I did this list a week ago, so I don't remember the exact number of people who have a hunting license, but it was over 100 million, I believe.
There's no way it's over 100.
I will go fact check that and make sure, but it was a very, very,
That's
very
a
high
lot.
number.
That is
I mean,
a
it was
very high
a
number.
crap ton.
Honestly,
and
25 million is probably a high number, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a lot of people.
No,
I'll check it, but I know it was quite a bit, and I could be way off. It could be somewhere around 10, 15, 20, but I'm pretty sure it was a high number whenever I saw it on the website or whatever. All right, so we'll get into our next one here. Combs starts off the night 1-0.
Pilot Wings. Yep. That was a great game.
Oh, yeah.
Super.
I remember
Super
that game.
Nintendo.
Alrighty, so Buck, you'll start this one off here for us. First fact is athletes playing with a white sports ball that have brown eyes see the ball better than people who have colored eyes. So if your eyes are brown and you're playing a sport with a white ball, baseball, golf, whatever it may be, you see the ball better with brown eyes than you do with colored eyes, okay? Next, the first ever British sports broadcast was yacht racing. Yacht racing. Next, over 50,000 tennis balls are used at Wimbledon every year.
Ooh.
So we've got, if you have brown eyes, you see a white sports ball better than colored eyes. The first ever British sports broadcast was yacht racing, and over 50,000 tennis balls are used at Wimbledon every single year.
So the ball thing kind of makes sense just because like I have light color eyes and Cindy has light color eyes, and it is hard for us to see like just like the sunlight hurts our eyes. So we always have to wear like eye black or sunglasses or something to that effect.
That's just because you're a redhead and gingers don't see well in the light.
Well, but Cindy's not a ginger, and she can't see at all in the sun.
Ginger just don't do well with the sun at all.
Yeah. So, but there also is a reason why softball switched to yellow balls to make it easier to like see. So I got to go with the tennis ball ones simply because like I always see them like, oh, that ball sucks, and they hit it. So I got to go with the tennis balls.
Yeah, I don't think that the color of your eyes really matter. I think it's about the way your eyes are structured. Some people have better vision than others, so I think that's what matters there. And if I was going to go first, I would have went with this one too. I think that the first British broadcast was yacht racing, because yacht racing is actually huge,
right?
Huge in Europe. So I'm going to go with yacht racing.
Yeah, it was definitely a toss-up between those two, I think.
And the correct answer is athletes playing with a white sports ball that have brown eyes see the ball better than people with colored eyes. So Trevor Bauer gets his first point of the night.
I wonder what the science is behind that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I think it has to do with like the color of something, because like the white color in your eyes is, brown is a darker color, so maybe it just sticks out more. I have no clue what the science is behind it, but I don't know.
What color eyes do you have?
I have blue eyes, I believe. Blue or green.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember off the top
I
of
was
my
going to say,
head.
if you have brown eyes, we're going to get together and see who hits a curveball better.
Well, I can't hit a baseball to save my life, so I'm just starting off into golf, and today, actually, my driving net came in, and I spent 10 minutes outside and didn't miss a single ball in 10 minutes. So I was pretty proud of myself. Then I went back out 10 minutes later and hit for 5 minutes and couldn't make contact worth a crap. So we're still working on it. We're fine-tuning things, but we're getting there. We're getting there for sure.
Joke's on you. Wide only hit 2 balls that first 10 minutes.
Tori
Exactly.
says you're racist because you favor colored eyes.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. All right. So, Combs, you'll start this one off next. And it is golf was banned in Australia from 1952 to 1972. All right. Next is Wade Boggs only ate chicken on game days. The third one is the oldest trophy in pro sports is the World Series pennant.
The World Series pennant. I don't think
Sorry.
it's...
Sorry. In U.S. pro sports. My apologies.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the oldest trophy in sports is the Stanley Cup. I think that, as I try not to get excited as Wilson Contreras just homered off of Leicester. But anyway, I think that the Stanley Cup is the oldest in sports. I think, man, baseball is such a superstitious sport. And for Wade Boggs to only eat chicken on game days means he ate chicken a lot. Because 162 games, I mean, he's eating chicken like 5
and
days a week.
I'm sure he ate it in the off season too. So,
all right. And what was the first one?
The first one was golf was banned in Australia from 1952 to 1972.
Man,
over gambling purposes. I'll even go a little deeper on the fact. There were people throwing too much money involved with gambling.
Now that makes me think. Great. I'm gonna go with Wade Boggs only ate chicken on game days. I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna stick with baseball because I think that was he was like back then. Superstition was everything. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm going with that one.
Yeah, I think it's the Wade Boggs thing as well. I think the oldest trophy in sports is actually the American Cup. So with that being said, by process of elimination, I'm going to have to go with golf was banned in Australia, even though I don't think that's right.
All right. With that being said, Combs gets the point, starting off 2-1.
Yeah.
And 0 on the night is our score. Trevor Bauer with 1, of course. Buck, got to bring up the
Buck,
rear
you
here,
suck
man.
at this game, man.
No, you just get the easy ones.
Damn you give him the easy ones.
All right, here we go. The next one. Buck, you'll start us off on this one. Horse racing, ironically, was invented by a cow farmer. Okay. Next one, the highest score on a par 4 is a 37. The highest score on a par 4 is a 37 on a PGA tour. I'll even explain that.
Okay.
And then since 1969, the world record long jump has only been broken once. So we have horse racing was invented by a cow farmer. The highest score on a PGA par 4 is a 37. And since 1969, the world record long jump has only been broken once.
So I feel like the long jump one is completely false because we see records getting broken every year. And then I'm going to have to go with the the cow farmer invented horse racing because, that's how auto racing got, started was when moonshiners, they would race their cars, to get away from the cops, yada, yada, yada. So I'm going to go with the cow farmer just because they're always on horses and they're like, hey, my horse is faster than yours, that type of thing.
So we got the cow farmer. Man, I actually think it's the go through them again one more time for me, Wyatt. I think it's the last
Buck
one.
chose the cow farmer that invented horse racing, so that one's off the board. But the two you have left is the highest score on a par 4 in the PGA is 37.
Yeah.
And the next one is, since 1969, the world record long jump has only been broken once.
Yeah, so I feel like it's the world record one because I don't think that the golf one, because I think there's a certain point in golf where I can't remember what it is. I think it's like 10 under par on a hole, you're done. Like you go away. And so I'm definitely I'm going with man. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one for sure.
I think the golf answer was 47 if I remember right. I feel like I've heard that.
No, you stop after a certain time and you go, and it's just like that's the lowest score you can get.
Since neither of you chose golf, I'll go ahead and tell you that that's wrong. The highest score is I believe it was an 18 on a par 4. But with that being said, this could be the end of the game or the Buck Nasty turnaround.
It is the Buck Nasty.
And with that being said, the winner for tonight's game is BC Brandon Combs.
Congratulations, man.
It is true that since 1969, the world record long jump has only been broken once, and it is the longest standing record in, I believe, all of sports that isn't for a season long. It's for one event in the Olympics. Every other Olympic competition has been broken multiple times since.
Yeah, wow. I like it.
Wow,
I like it. Buck, you suck at that game, man.
Well, you would have never thought. I mean, 69. That's like that. That's what. That's 40. That's 60 years ago.
Yeah, but they only do the Olympics once every 4 years.
Yeah, but you were telling me that nobody's ever jumped longer than that guy in 69.
No, only one person has.
Oh, only one person has. Okay. I don't know. I guess so.
Which is crazy.
But
that is insane.
I mean, that shows you like how evenly balanced that jumping is because all the real athletes run, right? We'll be right back here, guys.
I ain't getting in that one with you.
We'll be right back after this.
ManHourRadio.com.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Bucklies, Brandon Combs, and Wyatt Williams. If you missed any part of the show whatsoever, you can check out all the YouTube clips at youtube.com/Man Hour. That's where you can see everything that has happened on over there. So let's go ahead and welcome the boys back on the show. Combs can't keep it together.
You're killing me with them commercials, man.
They're pretty good, aren't they, man?
I like it. You got a career in acting.
Yeah. I mean, they always say you have to, really exputiate your talent on camera, so it really.
Wait, you got a what?
Exputurate.
What did you just learn that word today? You learned that word today, didn't you?
I actually just made it up, and I already made a Wikipedia page for it. It means it means grab their soul and don't let go until they.
How do you
scream,
spell
Mommy.
that?
EXQUJIKX. The KX is silent. Excutiate.
Jesus.
Am I not? No.
We can't make this crap up, people. Like, it's just like it just happens. Like, this is not scripted whatsoever.
Alrighty, guys. So it is
Schwarber
time.
just hit a 2-run bomb to make it 4-3.
There you go. Cubbies are hanging in there. They're about ready to give it away here, but we'll digress from that. All right, guys. So it is time to break down the AFC North game picks for the 2021 schedule here. Obviously, the games come out late last week, and we are going through each division, picking all the division games, or not all the division games, but all the games within the division. And we are going to start with the Cincinnati Bengals. So week 1, they open up at home versus the Minnesota Vikings. Combsy, who do you got winning this one and why?
I'm gonna go with the Cincinnati Bengals. Give me the Cincinnati Bengals here. I think that the Cincinnati Bengals, especially since Joe Burrow is planning on being back for week 1, I think that this is a different team. And I think that the Cincinnati Bengals are going to be that team that we didn't see coming. I don't think that they're going to be a playoff team, but I think they're going to be that team that wins a lot more games than we're used to seeing the Cincinnati Bengals winning. So I'm taking the Cincinnati Bengals week 1 versus the Minnesota Vikings.
Why? What about you?
Yeah, no, I agree with him absolutely. Cincinnati is going on to new coattails. They are changing the culture, as they say, in a sense. Didn't like the first pick. Think that Penei Sewell should have been with them for some protection for Joe Burrow. But once again, they added one heck of a playmaker in Jamar Chase, which once again, you really can't go wrong with getting Jamar. But yeah, I think they get the win week 1.
Yeah, I had the Vikings winning this game just because I like the Vikings this season. So week number 2, the Bengals travel to Chicago to take on Combs' Bears. Combs, who do you got winning this one?
Man, so this one for me hedges on who the Bears quarterback is. If Justin Fields comes out the gate and he is the Bears quarterback starting week 1, then I'll take the Bears in this one. But if Justin Fields is not the quarterback and it's Andy Dalton, give me the Bears anyway. Because you know what? Andy Dalton's going to get revenge on the Cincinnati Bengals, and he's going to throw for 6 touchdowns in this game and beat the Cincinnati Bengals. And the Bengals are going to be wishing they did draft Penei Sewell because Khalil Mack is going to eat Joe Burrows.
What?
Either way, the Bears come away with a win here. Combs explained it perfectly. We've got the revenge game for Andy Dalton, or you get the incredibly exciting and athletic and great arm of Justin Fields, who I'm telling you is going to succeed in this league. So either way, they're going to have a quarterback who is good and has a bright future ahead of him, or they're going to have a quarterback looking for revenge for a wasted career in a town in Ohio. So either way, Cincinnati loses this one because of strong quarterback play from the other team.
And I got the Bears winning this game as well because Andy Dalton is a top 15 quarterback in the league.
Oh, my God.
Week 3, guys.
Is he better than Justin Fields?
Yes. Week 3, we had the Bengals on the road playing division foe, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Combs, who do you got?
So this one for me is going to be interesting. I think that the Bengals are going to be that surprise team. I also think that the Bengals can be that team that decides this division, even though they're not winning the division. They could be that team against, their division foes that could either make or break their season for them. And for the Steelers, I think it could break their season for them. I'm going to take the Bengals in this one on the road to upset the Pittsburgh Steelers because the Bengals, this is their statement game.
Yep. What?
Well, I'm not calling it an upset game at all, but I'll take the Bengals as well, simply because this is going to be a bad year for Pittsburgh. Their quarterback is old, washed, trash, a former shell of himself, what he once was, and I'm not a big fan of their wide receiver core. They didn't do anything last year, really. Claypool showed up for a couple of weeks. Juju played all right for a couple of weeks. But other than that, wide receiver play was subpar, even with the great wide receiver core that they've had in the past couple of years. So I'm not a big fan of Pittsburgh this year. We'll get into Pittsburgh later on whenever we discuss the Pittsburgh Steelers. But not very high on their season this year. So I will take the Bengals starting out 2-1 on the year.
Yeah, you guys are right that the Steelers are going to have a down year, but they're not going to have a down year until about week 5, week 6, once the injury bug catches up with.
Whoa! I didn't say the Steelers are having a down year. Well, I said they were losing this game. I didn't say they're having a down year.
Oh, they're having
Steelers are winning this game, and it is a statement game for them. 28-7 is that final score. So week 4, we had the Jaguars traveling to Cincy to take on the Bengals. Combs, who you got?
This is the Bengals' second game in 4 days. So it's a Thursday night football game. Weird things happen. I don't really care for the Jaguars. I don't think that they're going to have a great season. I think they're going to be a 3, maybe 4 win team. But I'm going to take them in this one. I think that the Bengals, playing 2 times in 4 days is really going to hurt them. Crazy things happen on Thursday night football. Yeah, I hate the Thursday night game. They need to do away with the Thursday night game. And so I'm going to take the Jaguars in this one.
See, and this is where I will flip. I will have the Bengals going 3-1 as they beat the Jacksonville Jaguars at home. I know it's a short stint, but you're at least playing in Cincinnati against a rookie quarterback, a very young, inexperienced team with a new head coach, new quarterback, new running back. Everything's pretty much new. And if not new, they're second-year guys. Even in their running back core, they're running back 1 or 2 wherever James Robinson ends up. He'll be a second-year running back, so still relatively inexperienced. So I will take the Bengals at home on Thursday night.
Yeah, you never take the road team on Thursday night, especially with a rookie quarterback and a rookie wide receiver, since Travis Etienne's playing wide.
But he's the prototypical quarterback. If you built a quarterback in a machine, that's who would pop out.
Who said that? Not me, not you, but Wyatt.
Yeah, I said that.
Yeah.
That's why I got him going 8-9 this year.
And Wyatt's picking against him. That is why I'm picking the Cincinnati Bengals in this game. And I had the Bengals starting out 1-3 so far. So next one is we do have the Packers take on the Bengals. Wyatt, do not get long-winded on this answer. Holmes, who do you got?
Give me the Bengals. The Bengals are going to beat the Packers. Jordan Love is not going to be able to get it done. So give me the Bengals in this one at home.
Oh, give me the Bengals. Jordan Love won't get it.
The Bengals win this game because Jordan Love will not get it done. Jordan Love will be the starting quarterback for the Green Bay Packers come week 5. Wyatt, do you have anything else to say about that?
Aaron Rodgers will be the starting quarterback, and he will win this game.
Okay.
Thank you. That is all. Bengals go 3-2 right here.
Moving on to week 6 here, we had the Bengals traveling to Detroit to take on the Lions. Who do you got?
Give me the Bengals in this one too. The Detroit Lions are going to have a down year again. Buck picks them to win the division at 13-4, and they'll be 4-13 because that's what happens when Bucks picks the Lions to do anything. And so, give me the Bengals to go ahead and beat the Lions here.
I'll take the Bengals as well. Just like Combs said, I've got the Lions going 4-13 this year. Not going to be a good year. They say they've got their quarterback, but I'll believe it when I see it. Their head coach released a statement today that he wants to have a live lion at practice in a cage now. So whenever Jared Goff gets eaten at practice and they don't have a quarterback anymore, they will go at that point 2-15 because Jared Goff will at least get him 2 wins. So but they lose this game to Cincinnati nonetheless.
So I'm picking the Detroit Lions in this game just because it is a Ford Stadium is a hard place to play at. We saw that with the Kansas City Chiefs because just a couple years ago, the year that the Kansas City Chiefs went to the AFC Championship game, they were riding high going into Detroit, and they escaped there with a win by the chin. And I don't think the Bengals can really thrive on the road in that type of hostile environment as of yet. But week number 7, they're back on the road, take on the Ravens. Holmes, who do you got?
Yeah, give me Baltimore in this one. I think Baltimore is probably one of the top teams in this division. I think this division is quietly going to be one of the best divisions in the NFL for the next probably 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
This is going to be a very tight race all the way through. But I'm going to take the Ravens in this one. I think, on the road, the Bengals don't quite have what it needs. I think it's going to be a close game because it's a divisional game. But I'm going to take Lamar Jackson and the Ravens in this one.
Hey, Buck, who's the quarterback of the Ravens?
It is going to be a backup quarterback by the name of Chad Henne.
No, it'll be Lamar Jackson, the Lamar Jackson. So with that being said, the Ravens run away with this one. Literally run away with this one.
Yeah, because that is the only thing that Lamar Jackson can do is run the ball.
Points are points, no matter how you get them in the end zone.
And with that being said, I do have the Ravens winning this game as well. I just don't think the Ravens offensively can hang with the Ravens on the offensive side. As we think this is going to be a defensive slug out, I think that this is going to be an offensive shootout, and the Ravens come out on top of this particular shootout. Week number 8, the Bengals are on the road again, third road game in a row, taking on the New York Football Jets. Holmes, who do you got?
Go ahead, give me the Bengals in this one. I think this one's going to be another tight game. I really like what the Jets did in the draft this year. I really like having Saleh as the head coach. I think the Jets organization is turning this thing around slowly but surely. But give me the Bengals in this one, but give it in a close one. I think that this one comes down to the wire, and whether it's a field goal game or a last second drive needed by Joe Burrows, I think he'll get it done. And the Bengals will take this one, and they'll move on to 5-4.
I 100% agree. I think this game is either a tie or it's won in overtime by the Bengals. I think that the Jets have made a lot of good moves. They seem to be turning the ship around. It's going in the correct direction now. Things are starting to look good. Zach Wilson's going to be clicking this year. Everything's going to work itself out, but I think that this one is extremely close, and the Bengals come away with a win with the battle between two young, promising quarterbacks.
And I am taking the Jets because no matter who you are, it is hard to play 3 games on the road. And the Bengals do lose 3 games on the road to the Lions, Ravens, and then the Jets as well. It's just science. Just at this point, it is hard to win 3 games on the road. Week number 9, the Cleveland Browns come into Cincinnati to play the Bengals. Combs, who do you got?
I'm going to take the Cleveland Browns in this one. I think that the Cleveland Browns are really, and we'll talk about them later, but I think that they're going to surprise a lot of people this year. I think the Browns could possibly be the best team in the AFC North. And I think Baker gets it done. I think this is going to be Baker. Watch out for Baker Mayfield to be in MVP conversations this season. So give me Baker Mayfield and the Browns in this one.
Wyatt.
An Oklahoma quarterback wins the MVP this year. I'm not sure if it's Baker. I'm not sure if it's Kyler yet. I need to see him play week 1 and week 2 and maybe even week 3 to figure that out. But I know that a Oklahoma quarterback wins the MVP for this year. I personally, at this moment, give the edge to Baker Mayfield because of what we saw last year at the end of the year. The kid is maturing. He is getting so much better. So with that being said, the Browns take this one.
You can mature all you want, but a Big 12 quarterback will win the MVP, just not from Oklahoma. I am picking the Bengals in this one just
Who
because
is it,
Patrick
Justin
Mahomes.
Fields.
So
Fields a Big Ten quarterback.
So the Cincinnati Bengals win this game just because I think they're a little bit better than the Browns, and I had them going on a streak here for the second half of the season. Week 10 is their bye week, and then Week 11 they travel to Vegas to take on the Raiders. Holmes.
Yeah, give me the Bengals in this one. I think that the Raiders are going to have another down year. I think they're going to have a tough one. I think this will be John Gruden's last year in Las Vegas. And give me the Bengals to head to Las Vegas and keep that downward spiral that I believe the Raiders will be in by Week 11.
So I absolutely agree. The Raiders are going to have a terrible year, horrible year, because of how they've drafted over the last couple of years, especially this year. It was like go out with a bang if you can, John Gruden. So he did just that. I do agree with Combs. I think there is a large potential he gets fired or paid. His contract is paid out and he is asked to leave. That's what they did with Archie Miller at IU, and apparently he was the happiest guy in Bloomington that day. But anyways, that's not the point here. Anyways, I think even though they have a downward spiraling year, the Raiders always get 2 or 3 weird wins. like the Chiefs, I think they'll beat the Chiefs once this year. You know, and I got to look at their schedule to see what their other weird win might be. But I think this is one of those weird wins, and I think that it comes to the Bengals. I think the Raiders take one.
Raiders always finish 8-8 somehow, some way. But Cincinnati coming off of a bye, I will take the Bengals 9 times out of 10. Week 12, they welcome the Pittsburgh Steelers into town as another division rival here. Combs, who do you got?
Go ahead and give me the Bengals in this one. I think the Bengals are going to be the reason why the Steelers miss the playoffs. They're going to go 0-2 against the Bengals this year, and they're going to miss out on the playoffs because they're going to finish third in this division, just barely ahead of the Bengals. And but I'm going to take the Bengals in this one, and probably I think that this will be the game that the Bengals blow out the Steelers to really crush the Steelers' playoff hopes.
For the first time ever, Mike Tomlin is going to have a losing season, and it comes this year. They go 6-11, which I'll get to later. We'll break that down. But the Bengals sweep the Steelers under the rug. Whew, gone.
Wow.
So I actually had the Bengals winning this game as well. We are starting to see the Steelers collapse at this point, and we probably have a backup quarterback in at this point because Ben Roethlisberger's season is over.
Old denthead Mason Rudolph comes in.
Have hung him up. Week 13, the Chargers travel to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. Combs, who do you got?
This is going to be a fun one to watch, man. Justin Herbert versus Joe Burrow. This is going to be really fun. I was, when these two guys got drafted together, I was one of the few that said that Justin Herbert's going to have a better career than Joe Burrow's, and I still believe that. And I believe that shows through in this game. I think that this is a shootout, and I think that Justin Herbert gets the best of Joe Burrow, and the Chargers win this one in a close one. But this is going to be one of those games that ends up like being 49-47.
You are a Herbert fan, definitely.
Yeah.
And I am a Herbert fan as well, but I'm also a Burrow fan. This one is weird for me because this is the two big names from last year, really, that succeeded the most, in my opinion, for the overall of this quarterback class from last year. So with that being said, this is going to be a good game. I don't think it'll be a shootout. I think it'll be a low-scoring game, and I think Joe Burrow wins it at the very end and kind of starts to show through how he can win a game late, and he starts kind of developing that late drive, that 2-minute drill mentality that he will develop as time goes on. And I think it starts this year in a couple of games. This is one of those games. They beat the Chargers late.
And I had the Bengals winning this game, exactly what Wyatt said. It is going to be a low-scoring game, and that helps the Bengals a lot this year in this particular matchup. So I actually had the Bengals winning 4 in a row going into Week 14, where they welcome the 49ers into town. Combs, who do you got?
I'm going to take the 49ers in this one. The 49ers are going to be one of those teams in the NFC that's going to be interesting to watch all year. The NFC is not very strong, and specifically the NFC West is not very strong. And I'm going to take the 49ers to win this one and continue their strong march toward a NFC West crown.
See, now I've got the Niners going 10-7 on the year. But with that being said, I still think that the Bengals will not be able to get themselves above this. I think that the San Francisco 49ers come away with the win in this one on their road to being 10-7 and barely missing the playoffs. You heard me right.
If the 49ers are healthy, they are a Super Bowl-bound team. I think they are healthy going into Week 14, and they crush the Bengals this week. Week 15, the Bengals travel to Mile High to take on the Broncos. Combs, who do you got?
Yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers has a big game here, and I think that they absolutely stomp the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Bengals, lose 3 in a row here. So give me the Broncos and the Aaron Rodgers-led Broncos.
God.
What? What?
Literally, I'm not even going to look at my list, but just because you said that, I'm going Bengals on this one. Literally, there is no reason why, but just because you said that, I'm going Bengals on this one.
What? What are you against Aaron Rodgers just because he's not a Packer?
Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Packer next year.
Okay.
We'll see. So I'm picking the Broncos in this game because no matter who you are, it is hard to play a mile above sea level when you're used to sea level type air. It's extremely hard to play at Mile High, and I think the Broncos are a very much improved team. They have a team put together. They're just missing that quarterback, and I think Drew Lock is clicking by this point in time. Week 16, the Ravens come into town to take on the Bengals. Combs, who do you got?
I'm going to go ahead and take the Bengals in this one. It's very hard to sweep a division opponent. And, I don't think that the Ravens are going to take two off of Cincinnati. I think that Cincinnati is trying to just have a winning season at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Bengals at home in a tight one that the Ravens just let slip through their fingers, much like possibly the division.
And I will take the Ravens and Lamar Jackson on this one as they are able to run away, wink, wink, from the Bengals.
Yeah, and I think the Ravens have the easiest schedule in all of football besides their divisional opponents. So with that being said, they are riding high, they're clicking, and they're just playing well. They beat the Bengals week 16, they're sweeping the series. So right now I have the Bengals going 6-9, going to the week 17 matchup versus the Kansas City Chiefs. At least they're at home. Combs, who do you got?
Yeah, I'm just taking the Chiefs here. I think this is going to be the Chiefs tune-up game for the playoffs because they'll sit everybody in week 18. And at that point, they'll probably be like 15-1 or something. So give me the Kansas City Chiefs in their tune-up game for the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that this one is not even close. I think this is a throttling game. Cincinnati is going to be wiped with just wipe them off the floor. It's not even going to be fair.
Yeah, and I am a Chiefs fan, but I'm taking I'm taking the Bengals in this one because the Bengals are fighting for their playoffs lives at this point. And I actually had the Chiefs kind of having a down year for them, so stay tuned to that. And this is coming from a Chiefs fan. So final game of the season, the Bengals travel to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Combs, who do you got?
Ready for this? This is my hot take of the season.
Sir.
This game gets flexed to the Sunday night game of the week, and it's because if the Browns win it, they clinch the AFC North. And give me the Browns, baby. The Browns over the Bengals in this one to take the division on Sunday Night Football.
What?
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think the Browns come away with this one, and I think it's just like the game before. I think the Browns absolutely throttle them. I think this is their fine-tuning game before the playoffs, and I think that, like we talked about a minute ago, Kansas City and the Browns, I think, are the two top dogs, in my opinion, with the Bills in the AFC right now, and I think that the Browns make a statement win here right before they enter the playoffs.
Yeah, and I'm taking the Browns as well. This will not be for the division because I actually had the Ravens at 7-9 at this point. So I think they'll stay put at that 1 o'clock game here. So I actually have the Bengals finishing 7-10 on the season. Combs, what do you have them at?
I have the Bengals at 9-8.
And Wyatt?
8-9, right below Combs.
I'm sorry, 8-9. That's what I had. Yeah, 8-9. I read it backwards.
I got them at 8-9 then.
Yeah, so we are all pretty much right in the same boat there. So moving on here in the AFC North, we are going to transition over to the Baltimore Ravens here. So we're going to go through each of their games. We already have a couple other games picked, so we will skim over the Week 7 and the Week 16 matchups because we already picked the Bengals just recently here. So Wyatt, I'm going to start with you first going on this one, Week 1, Ravens versus Raiders. Who do you got?
The Ravens always, throughout the last couple of years, make a statement week 1. 2 years ago, they made a statement. Last year, they throttled Cleveland to start off the year. Cleveland ended up coming back, of course, and playing very well at the end of the year. But I think they start off the year with a statement yet again. And I think that they make it on the Las Vegas Raiders. I think they put up 40 to 50 points in this game, and the Raiders put up less than 15. I mean, it is going to be a absolute beatdown, and then a stomping, and then they're going to spit on them and kick them in the face. It is going to be horrible. They are just going to absolutely slaughter them. They're going to call it manslaughter by the end of it.
I doubt it.
That was a lot of words to say that the Ravens win this one big. So
Huge.
Ravens win this one big.
Huge. Biggest margin of the year, I think.
So Raiders always find a upset special of the year. This is coming from Wyatt Williams' mouth. And what better way to open up their Las Vegas stadium with the win over the Baltimore Ravens? That is exactly what they're going to do. The Raiders are going to beat the Ravens week number 1, get us a week 2 matchup of the Kansas City Chiefs at the Baltimore.
See, isn't this the third year in a row now that Kansas City and Baltimore have played in the first 5 weeks, Buck, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. And they're always really good games. But with that being said, I got Kansas City taking this one. Kansas City's a heck of a team. They're going to be a heck of a team for a long time. And Patrick Mahomes is going to end up going down as a top 3 quarterback of all time. Depending on how many Super Bowls he wins, he might go down as 1. He might go down as 2. We'll see how all that unfolds. But with that being said, Kansas City Chiefs take the win over Baltimore in a high-scoring and a very fun game, possibly even game of the year to watch between these two teams as they duke it out.
I'm looking at the schedule and the dates. This is a Saturday night game, week 2.
It's a Sunday game.
It is?
Yeah, they don't play Saturday games till
it's a
December.
Sunday night game.
Yeah.
Oh, so their first game's a Monday night game. So they open on Monday night. Okay, I
Yep.
got it. Now it makes sense. Okay. All right, but anyway, I'm going to take the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are just that team. They're the cream of the crop of the AFC, and I don't think that the Ravens are still up to task yet with the Kansas City Chiefs. So give me the Kansas City Chiefs big.
Right, and I come just to refresh your memory. Usually on week number 1, they play those 2 Monday night games, so that Raiders game won't be on until 11:00 East Coast time to get done. At 2 a.m. Absolutely stupid. But week number 2 here, guys. Like I said, I think Kansas City Chiefs are going to have a down year. I don't know if Patrick Mahomes is going to be 100% come week 2. That's why I'm taking the Ravens this week for week 2 for the
Is this
game.
where you do this reverse psychology? I'm not going to pick my team because I want them to have a good year, but I want to say they had a bad year.
No, I legitimately had the Chiefs going 12-5. I mean that they don't have a very favorable schedule. So week number 3, Ravens travel to Detroit. Who do you got?
Another their second beatdown of the year, and I think, like I said, for the biggest margin of victory for the year, it'll be between this game and the Raiders, and possibly even one more. But they're gonna kill Detroit. I mean, it is not even gonna be fair. They're gonna go to Ford Field and just wipe the floor with them. It won't be fair.
I agree. Ravens in a landslide.
Yeah, I'm picking the Ravens as well, even if it's at Ford Field. The Ravens are just too much for the Lions. Week number 4, they're on the road to Mile High, taking on the Broncos. Wyatt, who do you got?
And this one is going to be a decently close game because it's always tough to play at Mile High. So Denver is going to give them a tight game, but I still think Baltimore comes away with the win.
Yeah, it's always tough to play on the road. It's especially tough to play in Denver, and it's even more tough to play in Denver when Aaron Rodgers is their starting quarterback. So I am going to go ahead and say that the Ravens do squeak this one out just barely over the Aaron Rodgers-led Broncos.
Yeah, and I'm actually taking the Denver Broncos as well, just because I don't think the Broncos will be clicking on all cylinders come week 4. However, I do have the Broncos being a sleeper team in the NFL.
Yeah,
this
once
season.
Aaron Rodgers figures out that offensive scheme,
Right.
they're going to be good.
100%. So week number 5, the Colts travel to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Wyatt, who do you got?
Oh, stress. That's what I got. I got stress. But with the Packers situation with Combs, everything. God, I don't even know what to do anymore. Anyways, I got Indianapolis. Indianapolis is going to have a heck of a year. Once we break down their schedule, I'm really excited for that because the Colts are going to be awesome this year. They're going to be fun to watch. Like I said, I've said this 100 times on this show. I was the first one to call this out, that Carson Wentz was going to Indy, and my reasoning why is the exact reason why he went there. The last time that we saw Carson Wentz in MVP form, his coach and play caller was Frank Reich. Where is Frank Reich now? Indianapolis. So why did Carson Wentz come to Indianapolis? To play with Frank Reich. This is going to be a heck of a team, and they beat the Baltimore Ravens.
I agree it's going to be a heck of a team. I really like the Indianapolis Colts. I like what they're doing there. I'm not sold on the Carson Wentz to Indianapolis. I think that they had a couple of better options that they settled for Wentz, but I'm going to go with the Colts in this one as well. I think that the Colts find a way to pull this one out. That Colts defense is too good.
Yeah, I'm not for sure. What Wyatt? Go ahead.
Did you guys see Carson Wentz go on the Pat McAfee show? It's just funny because Combs, whenever you said they had a couple of other options and that's who they settled for, it's funny you said that because Pat McAfee felt the same way. And he said that openly many times. And then Pat had Carson on the show. And Carson asked him about it live on air. And it was just really funny because it was this awkward staring situation. Then Pat starts laughing. And then it's just funny. You should look it up if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I'll check
and
it out.
It is kind of awkward because how can you have better options than a top 10 quarterback in the league? And
Exactly.
Carson
10.
Wentz. But
Now
guys,
you agree with him. So Carson Wentz is top 10 and Andy Dalton's top 15. Give me a
No, Andy Dalton's not top 15, but I do agree that Carson Wentz is top 10.
So spoiler
When
alert,
he's playing at his best and healthy.
Are we good now?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I'm just making sure. All right. So spoiler alert, this is a preview of the AFC Championship game, and I got the Ravens winning this one, but definitely not the Ravens winning the AFC Championship game. So week 6, we had the Chargers coming into Baltimore.
Wait, did you just say that you have that's your AFC championship?
I thought you said the Ravens have a down year.
I said the Chiefs.
You in the last segment you said the Ravens were going to be like 6-11.
Yeah.
I did not. I said they have an easy ass
Yes,
schedule.
you did.
I did not say the Ravens were going to have a down year.
Oh, we're going
You said because of Lamar Jackson, they're
We're
going to have a
running the
bad
tape
year.
back. All right, Chargers, Ravens. Why you got?
God. Wild, man. No, Baltimore gets a win at home here versus the Chargers, who are going to have an explosive and electric offense, which they've had over the last couple of years. They got to find a new tight end ever since Hunter Henry left, but still, nonetheless, Baltimore comes away with the win at home.
Yeah, I agree. Justin Herbert and the Chargers are going to have a good team. They're going to have a good season. This is going to be one of those games that's going to be a tough loss for them, and it's going to be a close one, but I think that the Ravens pull that out at home.
I'm picking the Ravens as well. The Chargers are historically not very good on the road, and I think that continues into the 2021 season. We have already picked the Week 7 game here versus the Bengals. If you guys have missed that, you can check out the YouTube clip, youtube.com/manhour, and click on the Bengals schedule breakdown. Watch that, and you'll get our picks for that. Week 8 is the bye week, and then week number 9, the Minnesota Vikings come to town to take on the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, I think that this is kind of the game where everybody kind of scratches their head, and I think Minnesota comes away with a win off of Baltimore after a bye week.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't see that at all. I got give me the Ravens here. I don't like the Vikings at all this year. I just I think they are who they are at this point. So give me the Ravens.
Yeah, any team coming off a bye week, I'm giving them the favor in this nod. So I'm giving the Ravens, and like in this game, and I had them going 9-1 so far on the season with winning eight straight games in a row. Going on to week 10 where they travel to Miami to take on the Dolphins. Thursday night game, I might add. Why? Who do you got?
Yeah, I think they come away with a win here. They get the kind of head-scratcher, weird loss on the last one. Every team has a weird and bad loss, and normally it comes off of a bye week or right before the bye week. I think they get theirs there, but I think they get right back on track with a win at Miami.
I think by this point, I think that the Dolphins are kind of kicking themselves in the butt for not going harder after Deshaun Watson and trading Tua for him. I think that Tua is getting his butt handed to him all season long. Give me the Ravens in this one, and give me the Ravens in this one big.
So Combs, there is still time to get Watson because they keep circling the date of June 1st. So maybe the Dolphins do go after Watson still. But this is a Thursday night game. The Ravens are on the road. I'm taking the Dolphins at home on this one, simply because the Dolphins are the home team, and it's always hard to play in Miami because of the sea level and the humidity and the heat, especially midway through the season here. So week number 11, the Ravens travel to Chicago to take on Combs' Bears. But Wyatt, who do you got?
I have got the Baltimore Ravens annihilating, absolutely demolishing, hammer fisting to the face, knockout punching the Chicago Bears.
Wow.
That is all. Thank you.
All right, and I think that the Bears do what we all know that they can do, and that's beat a mobile quarterback. The Bears defense always seems to play well versus mobile quarterbacks. They're in Chicago. Justin Fields has a great game playing up against Lamar Jackson. By this point, people are really talking about how good Justin Fields is becoming, how mature he's becoming so early in the season. And give me the Bears in this one.
Hey, and I was just kidding, by the way. I actually do have the Bears winning. I was just trying to get it Comb. So I do have the Bears winning this one because Justin Fields
you don't have to. You can try to get at me all you want. We drafted very well. We drafted Justin Fields, and Aaron Rodgers is no longer going to be a Packer after June 1st. So
right.
I'm as happy as I need to be.
Yeah, week number 11. I am looking at the Ravens schedule here right now. I have them sitting at 9-2, and looking at their schedule moving forward. Like, I have to pick some losses somewhere because I don't see them going 15-2 on the season, but I just don't see them losing to the Chicago Bears. I think they're pissed off after that loss versus the loss after the Fins. The Bears are coming off the bye week. This is probably Justin Fields' first game as well. So give me the Ravens in this one. Week number 12, Cleveland Browns coming to town. Wyatt, who do you got?
It's going to be a really good game. I think this is going to be a back-and-forth game, but this will be one of the very few losses on the year for the Cleveland Browns as the Baltimore Ravens win a close game at home.
Whoa. Alrighty.
Go ahead. Give me the MVP Baker Mayfield over the Baltimore Ravens as they start their march towards the AFC North crown.
Yeah, so this is one of those games that are back-to-back here. So basically these two teams play twice in a 3-week span, which is absolutely ridiculous. But the Ravens have a tough stretch of games here, guys. They have 4 games versus the Browns, Steelers, and Packers. So that they have to win this first gauntlet of like games here. So I'm picking the Ravens in this one, moving to 11-2 on the season, going to Week 13 where the Ravens travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers.
Yeah, this is another big win. Excuse me, a big road win for the Baltimore Ravens. Really kind of that signifying win that gets them into a playoff spot and gets them over the hump where they can kind of, look more like a playoff team. And I think that this is a big loss for Pittsburgh. One of the big staple losses on the year where they lose to yet another division opponent.
Yeah, give me the Pittsburgh Steelers in this one. The Ravens just always play well against Pittsburgh no matter where they're playing at. I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens over the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers simply because the Ravens can't win them all. So I think this is one of their hiccup games. Going into Week 14, the Ravens travel to Cleveland to take on the Browns. What?
So last year preseason, I actually called this, okay? I called that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would lose to the Saints twice in the regular season and then go on to win the Super Bowl. And on their trackway, end up beating the New Orleans Saints. Which they did not. They did? They did. Yes, they did. What am I talking about? They did. This year, I am calling it. I had a brain fart. I thought the Packers played the Saints for a second, but then I realized that they didn't. Anyways, on this road to the Super Bowl, the Baltimore Ravens will beat the Cleveland Browns twice, and the Cleveland Browns will go on to beat them in the playoffs, and then eventually move on to win the Super Bowl. No, I'm just kidding. They'll just have a deep playoff run, but they will beat the Ravens. They'll lose to the Ravens twice.
Stick to your word, the Wyatt. Super Bowl champs, Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I'm going with the Cleveland Browns here again. I think that they are going to sweep the Ravens, and that's what's going to ultimately hand them the AFC North crown. And so give me the Browns at home again because they are going to be so damn good this year.
Yeah, and I'm taking the Browns as well because I don't think the Ravens sweep them this year. I think they split. So we've already picked the Week 15 matchup versus the Packers. If you missed that, go ahead and check out the Packers clip over at youtube.com/manhour. Also picked the Week 16.
I didn't pick it.
Well, you weren't on the show that particular day. So who do you got?
What the hell? What?
Who do you got? Packers versus Ravens.
Ravens. Give me the Ravens.
Ravens? Wyatt?
Yeah. Packers.
All right, so Week 17 matchup, we have the Rams versus the Ravens. What?
I will take the LA Rams as they are going to have a really good season next year. They're going to be a dominant force in the NFC because Stafford is finally going to have a good team around him. And the Rams are finally going to have a good quarterback to lead their team. So this is going to be a matchup made in heaven. It already is, and it's going to work really well. I'm excited to see how this works, and I think that they beat the Ravens.
Yeah, so I think that this is going to be. I think the Rams are going to have such a stranglehold on the AFC West or NFC West by this point that they're actually going to be the talk of the playoffs because they're going to say, "Why did you sit your starters for 2 weeks?" I think that they're sitting their starters in this one, and I think that the Ravens pull this one out because of that fact that they're sitting their starters.
And I don't think the Ravens or I don't think the Rams will be a stranglehold on that NFC, but I do have the Ravens as well. And in this game, I just think they're a little bit better. Giving us a Week 18 matchup, the final game of the season, a division rivalry game, Steelers versus the Ravens. Why? Who do you got?
I got the Ravens fighting for better playoff seeding in this one. Steelers looking for absolutely nothing. They're going to give them a decent game, but I think that the Baltimore Ravens pull it out by at least 10.
And Combs, what do you got?
Yeah, I think that the Ravens need to win this game to have a chance at the AFC North crown. I think they need a win and a Browns loss in Week 18 in order to win the AFC North. So I do think that they pull this one out against the Steelers because of that fact. So I have the Steelers going 12
The Ravens.
12-5 on the year.
Yeah, so the Ravens have it going 12-5. I actually have Ravens winning the Week 18 matchup as well. I just think this is a complete shellacking of the Steelers, and Mike Tomlin kind of shows his hand on his way out the door after the season. I actually have them finishing 13-4 on the season, first in the AFC North. Why? How do you have the Ravens finishing?
I got them at 11-6.
11-6.
Second in the division.
Second division. Okay.
6-0 in division play, I might add.
How can you be second in division, 6-0 in division play?
Because they're 11-6, the Browns are 13-4.
Doesn't division? Okay. Yeah. You're
Way to spoil the Browns.
Yeah. You're right. So, guys, we are going to take a quick little break here. On the other side of the break, we're going to break up some divisional picks here, and we're going to go play the new infamous game called Guess Who. I think of an athlete, and Wyatt and Combs simply have to guess who it is. So we'll be right back here, guys, on the Man Hour after the short little break. And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckhouse along with V. White Williams and Brandon Combs tonight. If you missed any part of the show whatsoever, you can find us on youtube.com/Man Hour. Check out all the clips that are uploaded daily up there 4 to 5 times a day. So welcome the boys back onto the screen here. So guys, we are going to play the infamous game of Guess Who. I believe this is the first time that Wyatt and Combs has gone head to head, if I'm not mistaken, right, guys?
It is true. It's always been me and Tori.
It is true here. So I have 3 athletes written down here, and you guys simply have to and ask yes or no questions to figure out who the athlete is. So are you ready?
Let's do this.
And Combs, since you are, you have a record of 1-2, and Wyatt is a 4-8. We'll let you go ask the first question.
All right. Is it a baseball player?
Yes.
Are they in the AL?
No.
Are they a pitcher?
Yes.
Are they in the NL Central?
No.
Is it Trevor Bauer?
Yes.
Yes.
Ding, 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 ding.
God.
Come on. I threw up a softball there, Wyatt, for you.
Right.
I really thought as soon as you Combs said pitcher, you'd be like, Trevor Bauer, the greatest pitcher ever. I was really hoping you would hammer that. So Combs gets the first point of the night. Going on to athlete number 2. Wyatt, you get the first question.
All right. Is this person a basketball player?
No.
Is it a football player?
Yes.
Do they play in the NFC?
Yes.
Okay.
Are they defense?
No.
So are they a quarterback?
Yes.
Is it Patrick Mahomes?
No, it's not. Patrick Mahomes plays in the AFC.
Oh. Haha.
Okay, so it's an NFC quarterback. Are they a starter?
No.
All right, there we go. There's the trick right there.
Is it... Are they in the NFC North?
No.
NFC East.
Okay, so hang on. I need to renege the answer. They are listed as a starter now. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
What?
Okay.
Okay, then I know exactly who it is.
Wait. He didn't answer your question. Are they in the NFC East? Was his question.
No, they're not in the NFC East.
Oh, well, then I don't know the answer to this.
Okay, so they're not in the North. Okay. Is it my boy? Is it Jameis Winston?
It is your boy, Jameis Winston, a top
dubs,
10
baby.
quarterback in the NFL.
Eat them dubs,
It's literally
baby.
my next guess.
So that gives Combs 3 wins on the season.
God.
Why, you are down to 10 losses, brother.
Eat them dubs, babe.
How does
Let's
that work,
go.
man? All
I
right,
gotta
so
bounce back here.
Combs has won the night for validity reasons. We will give out the third athlete. So Wyatt, since you are 0-2, do you want to go first or second?
Sure, I'll go first.
Okay.
Is this player in the Western Conference?
He plays in the Western Conference, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Is it the Western Conference of basketball?
No.
Wait, you said no, it's not the Western Conference in basketball?
No.
It's in hockey?
No, we have Major League Baseball, NFL, and basketball. And it's not basketball.
There's no other Western
There's no
Conference.
Western Conference.
AFC West, NFC West, NL West.
Those
AL
are
West.
divisions.
Those are divisions, not conferences.
Okay, so the answer is no. It doesn't play in the Western Conference.
So they play in an AFC, NL, NFC, or AL.
So yeah,
West.
Wyatt, they're either basketball or base. God, you're horrible at this game. No wonder you keep losing.
Well, he went baseball and then football, so I figured he had to go basketball with the third one.
Well, you figured wrong.
Okay, so
That's why you failed
Combs,
math,
it's you.
because you figured wrong.
Is it a basketball player? Or I'm sorry, a football player.
Yes.
It's a football player. Okay, so it's either AFC or NFC West. Okay, is it a? Do they play in the AFC West?
No. No.
NFC.
They play defense.
No.
Okay, so they play offense in the NFC West, and do they play running back?
No.
Are they a wide receiver?
Yes.
DeAndre Hopkins.
No.
God, Cooper Kupp.
No.
DK Metcalf.
No.
Is he a rookie?
No.
Tyler Lockett.
No.
Robert Woods.
No.
I can't
does it
see
say?
that.
It was the answer. Keep on guessing. It's not Robert Woods.
Damn.
Think about the what divisions we are picking right now.
AFC North.
Okay. Now think about NFC West. wide receiver.
Oh, AJ Green.
It is AJ Green, former Cincinnati Bengal himself.
Jeez, he basically handed that one to you, Wyatt.
Yeah,
He
pretty
did
much.
not.
First off, he shows the answer. Then he goes, they used to play in the AFC North. Now they play in the AFC West. There's only one person it could be, Wyatt.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, so that is a perfect segue, guys, to the team that we are breaking down next, and we will be breaking down the Cincinnati Bengals. Actually, we already did the Cincinnati Bengals. My bad.
Yeah.
What am I thinking? I should have done Baker Mayfield. So we are going to be breaking down the Cleveland Browns next. For this 2021 season, they had a heck of a run last year. They got hot, even though Odell Beckham Jr. did get hurt. So week number 1, the Cleveland Browns are opening up versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Combs, who do you got?
Go ahead and give me, because crazy things happened in week 1.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs are going to start out the season 0-1. The Browns are going to announce that they have arrived, and the Cleveland Browns are going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs in week 1 and start the season off 1-0.
What?
That is the craziest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. The Chiefs start off the year 1-0 after they beat the Browns, but the Browns do get right back on track and have a great season after that. But the Chiefs start off the year 1-0 as they beat the Browns.
Yeah, I'm picking the Kansas City Chiefs as well. But the biggest asterisk on this game is the health of Patrick Mahomes. Is he going to be back from that turf toe injury? And how well has the offensive line grown in this preseason here? Giving us a week number 2 matchup, the Houston Texans coming to Cleveland. Combs, who do you got?
Give me the Cleveland Browns again, baby. Starting out the season 2-0. The Texans are still reeling. They may or may not have Deshaun Watson as their starting quarterback by the start of the season. And I think that the Cleveland Browns are just too good defensively. They're too good offensively. This team is the total package. So give me the Cleveland Browns to start out 2-0.
What?
Cleveland Lowndes. Wow. Cleveland Browns come away with a big win here. The Texans don't know who their quarterback is. Nobody wants to stay in Houston no matter what sport you're playing. They just lost a franchise defensive end. They lost a franchise wide receiver 2 years ago. They're about to lose their quarterback, whether if that be to jail or another team. We have no clue. No speculating just yet on that. Too many questions surrounding this one. The Texans have a really bad season, and the Browns absolutely demolished them right here.
See, and I think I am on the complete opposite. I think of all the turmoil surrounding Houston all year. This football is going to have their team operating well and winning a lot of games. So they just don't beat the Cleveland Browns because everything you said, Combs. The Cleveland Browns are a really, really good team. Giving us a week 3 matchup with the Chicago Bears coming to town. Who do you got?
I think that this is Andy Dalton's last game as a starter for the Chicago Bears. 3 games into his tenure as a Chicago Bear. And I think that the Browns pull this one off. I think that the Browns beat the Bears, and I think that the Bears can't do anything offensively. And they start calling for Justin Fields in week 4. So give me the Browns, and give me the Browns big.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions surrounding the Bears that I'm going to ask you. We aren't breaking them down yet. We'll be breaking them down there once you are back on the show this week. But I also have the Cleveland Browns winning this game. I just don't think the Chicago Bears are – I could see the Chicago Bears being exactly opposite what they were last year. So they could be 0-8 or 0-5 going into week 6 before they get their first win there. Moving us to week 4 where the Browns travel Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Who do you got?
Give me the Browns, man. Browns are going to start out the season 4-0 on hot fire, and they are going to beat Minnesota in Minnesota and take down the Vikings to start off the season 4-0.
Yeah, and if the Browns were to start 4-0 on the season, I think that would be the biggest downfall for them. So this is the game that they are going to lose, but it's going to be a really, really close game. I'm taking the Vikings like 21-20 type of score, really tight. Maybe the last touchdown drive to end the game. Wyatt, who do you got winning this game?
I got the Cleveland Browns winning at Minnesota.
Alrighty, so giving us a week 5 matchup, the Browns travel to LA to take on the Chargers. Combs, who do you got?
Yeah, give me the Chargers in this one to bring the Browns down to 4-1. Justin Herbert, the kid is good. The Chargers are for real. And whenever you got a team going from the Eastern time zone to the Western time zone, yeah, I really have a tough time, picking one or the other. Whoever's on the road, I usually pick to lose. So I'm going to take the Chargers in this one to send the Browns to 4-1.
Great point of the time zone. Wyatt, who do you got?
I got the Browns as well. I think that not as well. I got the Browns because I think that the Chargers are a great team. They're going to have a good year. They got a bright future ahead of them, but I think the Browns this is their year. So Browns have a really good year, and it continues right here.
Yeah, this is their year to be the most overrated team, but they do travel to LA and they beat the Chargers because the Chargers don't have any fans at home. It's basically a road game for them, every game at home. But week 6, speaking of traveling from the West Coast to the East Coast, the Arizona Cardinals come to Cleveland. Combs, who do you got?
Yeah, and I just said that I usually pick the team that's traveling out of time zone to go ahead and lose when they're on the road. But in this one, I think that Cardinals defense is too good. The offense is just a little bit too much to handle for the Cleveland Browns, and this brings the Cleveland Browns to 4-2. When people start talking about are the Browns a for real team or are they a pretender?
Yeah, great point.
The battle of two Oklahoma quarterbacks, two former Heisman winners, two former first overall picks, two guys that are going to battle for the MVP this year. I think hand in hand. Two guys who are young, going to lead their team, and a potential future, maybe even this year. I don't know. It depends on how good these teams do. But I definitely think in the future, these two teams have a lot of potential in meeting in the Super Bowl. They're both young. They're both extremely talented, and they're both on the rise. So with that being said, I think that Cleveland does come away with this one, and I think that people will look back at how great this game was and see that Baker Mayfield outplayed Kyler Murray, and it'll be the reason why he wins the MVP.
Yeah, but they also play in very, very stout divisions there. Why? Their two divisions respectively are the two toughest in the NFL. But I'm going to take words out of Combs' mouth and put them out of my own. Traveling from the West Coast to the East Coast, it is tough because I believe this is a 1:00 kickoff time, so it is going to be 10 a.m.
It's a late game.
It's a late game. Okay, so but it's still that's a 3-hour time zone change, and the Cardinals are going to be not in the right mind to start that game, and the dog pound is going to go crazy since it is a late game. Give me the Browns in this one. Week number 7, the Ponies come into Cleveland to take on the Browns. Combs, who you got?
I think Baker beats Aaron Rodgers in this one, makes a statement. I think that the Cleveland Browns win this one in Cleveland. It's another primetime game for the Cleveland Browns, and the Cleveland Browns go ahead and move to 5-2 on the season.
Yeah, I think that first off, Aaron Rodgers is not in Mile High at this time, and I know they're not playing in Mile High, but still, I think that Cleveland comes away with a win here over Drew Lock.
Yeah, you're right. He's not in Mile High. He's in Cleveland, losing to the Browns.
Yeah. All right. He'll be in Green Bay that week.
I am taking the Browns this particular game because Thursday night games. I'm taking the road. You're taking the home team 9 out of 10 times. Give us a Week 8 matchup: Steelers versus the Browns. The first division game of the year, I do believe. Yes, it is the first division of the game for the Browns. Combs, who you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take the Browns in this one. I think the Steelers have a bad season again. I think that they're just not up to the task, and I think that Cleveland is, and Cleveland moves to 6-2 on the season.
Yeah, I think, like I said a couple of times, Pittsburgh not very excited about their year this year. I think Tomlin has his first losing year, and I think that they're coming off a bye week for this week. They got an early bye week, which I think does not help them whatsoever. They're coming off a bye week, and I think they'll be rusty because of that, and I think Cleveland comes away with a big win here.
So, like I said, I think Cleveland is the most overhyped team in the NFL this season. Right now, they're sitting at 5-2, and they have 3 straight wins on my board here. This is where the wheels fall off the wagon, and they are hoping for a bye week soon. Week number 8, the Pittsburgh Steelers come into town, and they whoop that ass. 42-7 is a final score. It is a complete shellacking. We have already picked the Week 9 matchup. You guys can check out the Cincinnati Bengals schedule breakdown if you want to hear that win. Giving us a Week 10 matchups, the Browns travel to New England to take on the Patriots. Combs, who do you got?
Go ahead and give me the Patriots in this one. Bill Belichick does not lose to the Cleveland Browns ever since they fired him way back when. and he just does not lose to the Cleveland Browns. And I think that this could be Mac Jones' first game as a New England Patriot. So being in Foxborough and Mac Jones' first game, I just think that they're riding a certain kind of high in New England, and they pull one out against the vaunted Browns.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think that this is, like I said a couple of times, every single team has a couple of dumb losses as the years go on, or as the season goes on, excuse me. So I think that this is the big dumb loss for them. I think they lose at Gillette, which is a really tough place to play. I do agree that Mac Jones will be right about starting at this point, getting his first couple of starts. Cam Newton kind of finally bows out and lets it go. But I will say that New England wins this one at Gillette.
Yeah, I'm picking the Patriots as well, not because of the Mac Jones factor, just because of the Bill Belichick factor versus Cleveland. He has that certain mojo against him. Week number 11, the Detroit Lions coming to town to take on the Browns. Combs, who do you got?
I mean, the Browns. The Lions are not going to be very good. They'll be lucky to win 5 games this year. So go ahead and give me the Browns.
Lions win it by 30. I'm totally just kidding. It's actually the way Aaron. Cleveland wins it by 30.
Shit, you made me drop my pen.
Well, I am not kidding. I told you this is the wheels have fallen off the Cleveland Browns train. They have definitely fallen off. This Week 11 loss versus the Detroit.
I think they've fallen
Lions.
off your head.
It is absolutely
your wheels have fallen off.
So we have picked the Week 12 game, the Browns versus the Ravens. You can check out the Ravens schedule breakdown for that. Then the Week 13 is their bye week, and then Week 14 we've already picked that as well. The Ravens versus the Browns. Like I said, you can check out the Ravens schedule breakdown. Give us a Week 15 matchup. The Las Vegas Raiders come into town to take on the Browns. Why? Who do you got?
Versus the Las Vegas Raiders, I will take the Cleveland Browns. The Raiders are not great, so they're gonna have a bad year.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna. This game always seems to be down to the wire. Whenever the Raiders and the Browns play each other, it's a dogfight. No pun intended. But I'm gonna go ahead and take the Browns at home.
As Wyatt tries to make it funny, he is completely bad. So the previous week, I do have the Browns beating the Ravens, but that Browns wagon is still broken. They are fighting to stay above 500 at this point. I had the Raiders coming into the dog pound and whooping that ass again. It is another disturbing loss. 28-10 is that final. Then we have a Week 16 matchup.
What do you see in the Browns that makes you think that they're not going to be a very good team this year?
Because they had a better than expected season last year when Odell Beckham Jr. went down.
And they did nothing but get better on the defensive side of the ball.
Exactly.
Incredibly.
Exactly. So how many young players can live up to the height of a team, especially when you're like the Cleveland Browns, when you have invented ways to lose? The Cleveland Browns, it would not surprise me if they tied 4 games this season and finished like 6-4 or something, something crazy.
Okay.
Like,
all right.
It just like I just see the Browns. You know, they get beat by the Steelers, a team that's not going to be very good this year. Then they get beat by the Bengals, a team that is up and coming, and then they lose to the Patriots the following week to a rookie quarterback. Their confidence is 100% shot, and they are a sinking ship at this point. So then we have a Week 16 matchup. The Browns do travel to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Combs, who do you got?
Yeah, so this is going to be that game that gives the Ravens hope to win the division, because this is going to be where the Browns falter a little bit. They head into Lambeau. Jordan Love on Christmas Day, it's going to be snowing. It's going to be a blizzard. Jordan Love's going to have a game of his life, and they're going to go ahead and beat the Browns by 3.
Wyatt.
3-0.
Well, first off, Jordan Love, once again, like I have to say 100 times, is not going to be the quarterback. What I'm losing it on this playoff predictor.
So much that each one of these teams has the Packers and the Broncos on their schedule.
Oh, I know, it's great, right? Kills me. What week is this? I can't find this.
This is Week 16 matchup.
Okay, I don't know why I couldn't. There it is. Okay, sorry. I do have Cleveland winning though, but Aaron Rodgers will be at the helm for that game. So thank you. That is all yet again
for the Broncos. Somewhere else.
The Broncos are not playing in Lambeau that week, okay?
So I actually do have the Packers winning this game. Tori kind of sold me that the Packers just don't lose at Lambeau no matter who the quarterback is. And like I said, the Browns are struggling
especially on Christmas Day.
He's actually
look.
right.
I mean, Lambeau's a special place, and as a Bears fan, I understand that. Like Lambeau is a special place to play, especially on Christmas Day, and it's just tough for me to pick against the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau on Christmas Day.
So that's given us a Week 17 matchup, another division rival here. The Browns travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Combs, who do you got?
I got the Browns in this one. I think that the Browns go ahead and sweep the Steelers in the season series. I think that this is their step to getting that game against the Bengals flexed in Week 18, and then ultimately winning this division.
All right, why?
Yeah, I think this is a big win for Cleveland. Really kind of asserting their dominance over the AFC North and kind of, putting down the Steelers one final time for the year after they've been put down all year because, the Pittsburgh Steelers had put down everyone in that division for so long. So I think this is kind of the payback run for everybody. I think that the Pittsburgh Steelers get shellacked in, 90% of the games that they play against division opponents, and this is just one of them where they get beat.
Yeah, I think that Week 8 game, the Steelers, that was their last win on the season because the wheels kind of fell off for them as well. So I do have the Browns winning this Week 17 matchup. It is, I have to agree with you guys. It's going to kind of be a slacking 35-10 type of score here. We have already picked the Week 18 matchup, so if you guys want to check out the Cincinnati Bengals schedule, you can. So guys, I had the Browns at 8-9 on the season. Combs, who do you
What?
I have them at 13-4. You're nuts, Buck. I don't know what you see in this team that says that they are 8-9 team, but I got them at 13-4. I got them winning the AFC North by one game over the Ravens.
Why? What do you got?
8-9.
13-4 as well. Yeah. The Browns are good. They're going to be good. 13-4.
8-9.
Do you know what I really see?
They don't even have a winning season, Buck.
No. Do you know what I really see?
Yeah, you see the Lions winning 10 games in the Browns winning 8.
That was last year. I see Odell Beckham Jr. coming back to this team and being a cancer on this team. That is what I truly see. I think Odell Beckham Jr. is the demise.
You know what? We call Wyatt waffle. I think you're waffle because I think it was about a month ago, and I think your exact words were, I think that OBJ has been humbled, and I think OBJ is going to come back a different player, and he's going to have a good season. And now you're like, OBJ is going to be a cancer in the locker room. They're going to be 8-9. And
I did say that until I saw his Twitter. So go ahead and jump over on his Twitter, and you know exactly what I am talking about. So, guys, we are going to move on to the Pittsburgh Steelers here. For the Steelers, we have already picked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of their games. So all of their division games are already picked here. So if you guys are curious of what we did for those picks, head over to youtube.com/manhour. You can check out each one of those teams' particular clips here. But week number 1, the Steelers do not get an easy break at all. They take on the Buffalo Bills at Buffalo. Bills Mafia. If you're vaccinated, you can get in. If you're vaccinated, you can play for the Bills. So, Wyatt, who do you got winning this game?
Elbow off the top rung. The Bills, you know how they are always breaking those white foldable tables? Well, that is an accurate representation of how they're going to break the Pittsburgh Steelers into 1,000 pieces whenever Josh Allen takes his arm that throws 10,000 miles per hour of football and his legs that he'll run right through you with, the guy who Big Ben once was. He's going to take his elbow and jump right off the top of a camper and land right on the white foldable table that is the Steelers and just absolutely demolish the table.
You've got some crazy words to say that a team's going to get crushed. Look, the Bills are the second best team in the AFC, a very deep AFC, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
But the Bills are the second best team in this AFC right now, and the Bills are just going to, I would say a 30-plus point victory in this one. Give me the Bills.
Yeah, as much as I want to pick the Steelers in this game because Combs, you said crazy stuff happens week 1 every year. I just cannot see the Steelers beating the Buffalo Bills at Buffalo, especially with the Bills Mafia going crazy. Give me the Buffalo Bills. Week number 2, the Las Vegas Raiders coming to town to take on the Steelers. Wyatt, who do you got?
Let's see, which trash can do I want to pick here? I'll go with the one that's made of steel because it could withstand more. So give me the Pittsburgh Steelers in a horrible game between two horrible teams that are just horrible. Yeah.
Wyatt, I'm the one supposed to be the bad dad jokes. That was a horrible bad dad joke.
I was kind of confused. I'm like, where's he going with this?
Give me the steel trash can that can't get penetrated by the Raiders, swords and God, that was a John Gruden take right there.
Yeah,
give me
that was good, though.
Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers to go ahead and win this one.
It had absolutely nothing to do with Alabama or Clemson or any kind of a national title winner. So how was it a John Gruden take? No,
that being
not
said,
funny.
No, not at all.
Sorry.
I am taking the
tried.
Steelers in this week 2 matchup. I don't think the Raiders are going. So the Raiders are going to be really, really good or really, really bad. I think this week 2 matchup shows that they're going to be a really, really bad team. We've already picked the week 3 matchup: Cincinnati Bengals versus the Steelers. Check out the Cincinnati Bengals schedule breakdown. Week number 4, the Steelers go to Lambeau to take on Wyatt's Packers. Wyatt, who you got?
A guy right there.
Is that Jordan Love?
No, it's not. It is Aaron Rodgers, and he is going to have on one of the best secondaries in the league, I might add, a great defense. He is going to go off and have
because the Broncos are playing
yards,
the Chiefs that week,
like 4 touchdowns, maybe even a rushing touchdown to go with it. Aaron Rodgers absolutely demolishes.
All right, so you're picking the Broncos over the Chiefs that week, but what about this game?
Combs, who you got?
Never mind.
Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers to go 2-2 as they beat Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau.
Going into Lambeau.
To try to stay relevant. It's an early season game. That's why I pick them in Lambeau. And because Jordan Love's the starter.
I do have the Steelers going 2-2 on the season as well, but I do have the Packers winning this game. I don't think it's close. 28-7 is the final score. Week number 5, the Broncos come into town to take on the Steelers. Why? Who do you got?
Well, I would tell you, but my entire thing that I just did reset.
I'll go
I now
then.
have no picks.
Aaron Rodgers is going to have a great week against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Broncos beat the Pittsburgh Steelers to send them to 2-3.
Got it. I found it. Here we go. And it has to do with Drew Lock actually beating the Pittsburgh Steelers. Aaron Rodgers that week plays against the Cincinnati Bengals and wins at home. Or wins on the road, in Cincinnati.
How do we always turn this into a Packers talk? Week 5, I do have the Broncos.
I didn't do it this time.
I do have the Broncos beating the Steelers. I think the Broncos are going to be the most slept on team in the NFL this season. Week 6, the Seahawks.
So the Broncos are slept on and the Browns are horrible. Got it.
So week 6, the Seahawks come into Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Why? Do you have your thing?
I'm just thankful that we've got to our final team in the AFC North that plays either Denver or Green Bay, and we got through it in week 6. So for the rest of this time now, I don't have to hear any of that crap about how, Jordan Love's going to be playing in Lambeau, or, Aaron Rodgers is going to be playing in Mile High. I don't have to hear any of that crap anymore. I now get to talk about how Russell Wilson is going to get beat on the road playing at Heinz Field. The Pittsburgh Steelers come away with a big win here, and everybody freaks out. They're like, oh, my God, they're turning it around. No, they're not. No, they're not. This is just one win for them. So thank you. That's all.
That is.
I think Russell Wilson and the Seahawks beat the crap out of the Steelers, and this one's not even close.
So this is a Sunday night game. Pittsburgh Steelers at Sunday night games, they are historically pretty damn good, if I'm not mistaken. So I am taking the Pittsburgh Steelers just because of the time zone travel. And, Russ is still cooking, right, guys? Since, like it is only week 6, so Russ is still probably cooking. I don't know. I got to go with the Steelers, I guess. Week 7 going into a bye week. We have already picked that week 8 game versus the Browns. Week number 9, Combs, your Chicago Bears coming to town to take on the Steelers. But why? Who do you got first?
I have, ironically, I have the Chicago Bears coming away with a big win here on the road and really putting Pittsburgh in their place. And Pittsburgh loses yet again is I believe that they are at they're 4 wins now for me. I think
Yeah, I saw them at 2 wins. After this game, they will remain at 2 wins. This is when the downfall of the Steelers is really cemented, and everybody knows that they're just not that good, and it's time for Ben Roethlisberger to retire. Give me the Chicago Bears, Justin Fields, over the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, I am taking the Andy Dalton and the Chicago Bears in this Week 9 matchup. The Chicago Bears are not playing Justin Fields yet because Andy Dalton is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL.
Now he's top 10. Oh, Jesus
I should say top 15. My mistake here. So the Bears do win 17-10 game here. Give us a Week 10 matchup. Detroit Lions coming to town to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Why? Who do you got?
I don't know how do you know what to say on that. I have got the let's see. I've got I believe the Steelers winning this. Yeah, no, I take it back. Detroit. I've got Detroit winning this because they're coming off a bye week. The Lion will be live and well at practice by that time. They've worked out all the legal issues. Jared Goff has not been eaten just yet. It's going to take one more week. Then that chain finally breaks and Jared Goff gets it by that Lion. And, yeah, there you go.
Can you just see somebody scoring a touchdown, running to the back of the end zone to try to celebrate and ride the Lion, and instead he gets eaten?
Oh, absolutely. Like oh, yeah.
It reminds me of the Georgia dog that like attacked that wide receiver long ago. You guys remember when?
Remember whenever the bull for Texas attacked the Georgia Bulldog a couple of years ago?
That's a long
Give me the Steelers in this one, and this is when the Lions go away from Jared Goff and play whoever their second-string quarterback is.
What? The Lions, Combs. The Lions win this game. The division-winning Lions win this game. They beat them down. 24-10 is the final score, and
You're picking the Lions to win the NFC North.
No, but I don't know. We will break it down this week, and I'll let you know then. How about that?
My God.
So Week 11, the Steelers travel to L.A. to take on the Chargers. Wyatt, who do you got?
I will take the Steelers getting this win over the Chargers. Chargers have a little bit of a hiccup. They show their inexperience, and they are working kind of through an injury bug, I feel like, which is kind of the story of their franchise for the last couple of years. So I will take, in this one, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Give me the Chargers. Justin Herbert and the Chargers are good. They're poised to make a run in the AFC West, and I'm taking the Chargers to stomp the Steelers.
Yeah, I think the Chargers are a sneaky good team, but I'm curious of how they're going to perform without their tight end this season. But with that being said, I am going to take the Chargers just because I think like what Combs has been saying since about Week 8, that the Steelers are a sinking ship. We have picked Week 12 and Week 13, both division games, the Bengals and the Ravens. Give us a Week 14 matchup, Steelers traveling to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Wyatt, who do you got?
And this is another Pittsburgh win here. I think Minnesota struggles all year long. Or actually, I'll tell you what. No, I take that back. Thursday night, it's at home. I just realized that, so I will take Minnesota on this one. Minnesota wins this one over Pittsburgh. I just realized it was a Thursday night game, so I will be flipping that, and it will be Minnesota.
All right, Combsy.
Yeah, I'm taking Minnesota to beat the Steelers here as well, and they will just be in shreds and not know what to do.
Yeah, I'm picking the Minnesota Vikings as like as well. Is Thursday night considered a primetime game, guys? Like,
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think Kirk Cousins finally gets over that hiccup and wins a primetime game. So he has 2 primetime wins on the season. Give us a Week 15 matchup here. Tennessee Titans travel to Pittsburgh. Who do you got?
I've got the Titans, and I think that this is the game that Derrick Henry just absolutely demolishes the Pittsburgh Steelers. I am going to love having Derrick Henry that week in fantasy because he is going to tear them up on a defense that is good and will look intimidating. But nonetheless, King Henry is going to run all over them and rack up a ton of yardage, get a couple of touchdowns to go with it, and Wyatt will be very pleased whenever his fantasy football team wins that week because Derrick Henry carried me to that. So thank you, Derrick Henry.
I have the exact opposite opinion. I think that the Steelers pull one out here, and I think that they stuff King Henry. He never plays well against the Steelers, never runs well against the Steelers. I'm going to take the Steelers to beat the Titans in this one.
Yeah, I'm with Combs on this one here. Every year, King Henry has a game where he gets like 27 yards. 2 years ago, it was against the Denver Broncos, and last year I forget who
it was against the Steelers.
Was against the Steelers, but
I think so.
This is a game where he doesn't get above 50 yards. So hopefully I'm playing Wyatt in this week in fantasy, giving us a Week 16 matchup. The Steelers travel to Arrowhead to take on the Chiefs.
Give me Pittsburgh. No, I'm just kidding. Give me Kansas City. That no explanation needed. Give me Kansas City. Move along.
Yeah, Chiefs take this one as they walk towards another
division crown.
Yeah, I am taking the Chiefs as well. He had
I
an
had
itch.
an itch in my back.
So I'm taking the Chiefs as well in this one. Everything that's what you guys said here.
That is the fastest I've ever seen someone itch their back, dude.
They call it a backstroke.
Like, what are you doing?
So we have already picked the Week 17 and
Is that
18
not hurt?
matchups here. So I had the Steelers finish the season 6-11. Combs, what do you have them at?
I have them at 5-12.
5-12. Yep.
3-14.
3-14.
0-6 in division play. This is a bad year for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
So I feel like every year
We all
sleep on a team.
gave him his first losing season. You
Yeah,
realize
yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I hate 8-8. But it doesn't count as a winning or a losing season. But yeah, that's the only reason why I like the 17 games is because you can't go 500.
Yeah, I
Well,
just
no, you can't if you
look.
tie.
Mike Tomlin has consistently been one of the best coaches that never
Yeah.
gets talked about in the NFL.
Yeah.
And to never have a losing season is something, and we all gave him his first losing season this year
Yeah.
on a year that a lot of people are talking about this team being one of the best teams in the AFC North.
I think the reason why I have them going losing this season was because they did not draft a quarterback. They did not build for the future. They are sold on who's their Mason, like Mason Crosby as their backup, and then they signed like
Mason
Haskins,
Crosby's a Packers kicker. It's Mason Rudolph.
and then they signed
And
Haskins,
then
right?
Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah, so that is the reason why I'm going against the Packers or the Steelers this year, because I never wish injury on anybody, but I do think that Ben Roethlisberger has a down year, and by week 7, week 8, he has a nagging back injury or something to that effect that takes him out. So it would not surprise me. So guys, we are going to start the after show here. We're giving you guys a free after show to show you what the after show is all about. But first, we got to end this live stream here. So Combs, go ahead and send us out, big guy.
Man, our nation, rise up.